The Other Way featured Jenny and Sumit starting a business and worrying about their financial investment, Johnny calling Chloe jealous and fearing she's not ready to be married, and Manon and Anthony moving to France during the Season 7 episode that aired. The Other Way's prior seasons, Season 7 will follow American citizens moving to or living in foreign countries for the sake of love and their future spouses and experiencing culture shock. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way's 7th season will feature 6 couples including Jenny Slatan and Sumit Singh, who have previously starred on multiple seasons of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, and Luke Berry and Madeleine Perez, who appeared on Season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise. The new 4 couples are Greta from Oklahoma and Matthew from England, Anthony from California and Manon from France, Patia from Texas and Dylan from Tasmania, and Chloe from Massachusetts and Johnny from Aruba. Below is what happened on episode 2 of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way's 7th season. Jenny admitted she felt like a child in Sumit's parents' home because they had gone through her belongings and removed her alcohol. Jenny said she was going to be on her best behavior and just deal with it. She also offered to cook the family dinner alongside Sumit's sister-in-law. Sumit's mother said she loved seeing both of her daughter-in-laws working in the kitchen. "The only thing I know how to cook is spaghetti. But I think everybody will like it," Jenny said. Sumit's parents apparently didn't like the taste of Jenny's pasta, but they still demanded she cook daily for the family. Sumit's mother planned to teach Jenny how to cook different dishes. Sumit then revealed that he and Jenny had decided to open a cafe and run the business in India together. It was going to be a family venture since everyone in Sumit's family loved to cook. "It's going to be a lot. I'm concerned SHT is going to hit the fan," Jenny confessed. Jenny told Sumit's parents that after a long day of work, she'd want to come home and rest. Jenny's mother vented about how Jenny needed to act like an adult and a responsible grown-up who could do chores upon returning home. Jenny said she'd be fine with cleaning, but not cooking, and she had no idea what the future was going to hold. Jenny and Sumit later headed to the cafe for their first day of work, but the place was empty and needed a lot of work. Jenny couldn't imagine the small space having a full kitchen and 6 people working inside. Jenny compared the cafe space to a hallway and wondered how they'd get a freezer and oven inside, but Sumit, although he knew it was going to take a lot of hard work, was optimistic about what they'd be able to accomplish. The cafe was going to be the main source of income for the family. Once Sumit's family saw the cafe, they thought the place was way too small and they had bought the wrong place to start the cafe. They also didn't have outlets or running water. Sumit therefore began to worry about his financial investment and that the cafe was going to be a total failure. Luckily, Sumit had a plan B and told his family how there was a shop nearby that was empty. But Sumit wasn't sure if he could afford another investment. It would mean a huge loss on the first location. Gino Palazzolo failed to date a new woman on HEA. He introduced Natalie as his new girlfriend. However, the 90 Day Fiancé star's happiness was short-lived. Jasmine wreaked havoc when she learned about her husband's new romance and threw brutal insults at Natalie at Dana's party. Gino became single again when his new girlfriend left him after the violent clash with his wife. Natalie wasn't ready to end up in all the mess between the couple. Gino admitted feeling lonely on the show and hoped to reconcile with Jasmine. But he ended up getting heartbroken because of his wife's pregnancy with her open marriage guy. Fans now wonder whether the reality TV celeb reconciled with Natalie after his wife moved on with Matt. Are they still going strong? What is their current status? Gino Palazzolo invited Natalie to Michigan to spend some good time with her. He knew things would mess up if Jasmine also attended Dana's party. Still, the 90 Day Fiancé star took his girlfriend to the party and watched as a spectator. Gino failed to protect Natalie from Jasmine's anger and told her not to listen to anything. However, Natalie was shocked that Gino was still not out of all the mess. She packed her bags the next day and expressed her anger. The reality TV star stated, "After last night, I'm feeling exhausted, disappointed, angry, very angry." Gino tried to become the peacemaker and hoped to fix things. Natalie slammed her boyfriend for not being honest with her. She stated, "I wish you had the balls to *King tell me the truth." She ended her relationship and walked out of her partner's life. 90-Day Fiancé. What is Gino and Natalie's current relationship status? Gino Palazzolo wanted to live his side of the open marriage on HEA. He introduced Natalie on the show and looked so excited to start a new love life. However, things went south when the TLC star's girlfriend met his wife for the first time. Jasmine left not a single chance to mock and insult Natalie in front of his family and even became violent. Gino failed to tell his girlfriend the truth about his marriage. He told her that he was getting a divorce from his wife. But Natalie realized at the party that the chaos between Jasmine and Gino might never end. She wasn't ready to live a complicated life and get into the drama. The 90-Day Fiancé celeb ended things with her partner. Hence, viewers are curious to find out if Gino is able to reconcile with Natalie. He appears to be in touch with the latter, and they are on good terms. The reality TV stars still follow each other on social media. Surprisingly, they don't post any updates together or tag each other. Natalie has a private profile and refuses to share anything on social media. Gino posted only one photo with her at the beginning of the show. Since then, he has been silent about their dynamics. Viewers feel the TLC star might be waiting for the show to end to spill the tea on his love life. Gino allegedly dated other women after Natalie. Fans are waiting to see if he is still single or not. Stay tuned too. Brandon Gibbs is making headlines again, for all the wrong reasons. He shocked everyone by pushing his wife, Julia Trebkina, for something she wasn't comfortable with. The 90-Day Fiancé star threw huge tantrums and even called her out for overselling it to the family. The reality TV stars have a lot on their plate in Season 9. Brandon and Julia renewed their vows to make a fresh start. They wanted to bury the hatchet and start a new chapter of life. However, the TLC stars are unable to get on the same page about the baby topic. Julia found a solution for her fertility issues on the show. But she had to undergo surgery to fix the issue. Hence, the Russian native decided not to have kids with her husband. What did Brandon do? What really happened? 90-Day Fiancé. Julia feels pressured to have kids. Brandon and Julia took couples therapy to solve their marital issues. The former couldn't understand why his wife wasn't ready to have kids. He supported her when he learned about her fertility issues. The 90-Day Fiancé star wanted his wife to get a second opinion from the doctors after the resort. Julia agreed to have a second opinion and recommitted her vows with her husband. But she was hesitant to visit the doctor and go through the same experience again. Brandon, Ron, and Betty pressured the Russian native to get a second opinion and fulfill her promise. However, Julia became nervous when she saw the happiness on her husband's face. She feared he would be heartbroken if they couldn't have kids. The TLC star's husband was excited to have babies with his wife when he found a solution for the fertility issues. 90-Day Fiancé. Fans slammed Brandon for lacking empathy towards Julia. Brandon Gibbs and Julia Trebkina wanted to spend some happy time after renewing their vows. They went for dinner with their families to celebrate their special day. Things took an unexpected turn when Brandon came up with the baby topic at the dinner table. He informed his parents and in-laws that Julia may have kids after a surgery. Julia quickly clarified that she didn't want to go under the knife for the polyp removal. She felt they still had a lot of time and won't have kids. Brandon was visibly heartbroken about the 90-Day Fiancé star's decision. However, fans criticized him on Reddit for forcing his wife to undergo the procedure. A fan started a thread to slam him and Betty for lacking empathy. The OP wrote, "Brandon and Betty need to be extremely ashamed of themselves for the way they treated Julia about having this damn baby." Brandon told his wife to stop overselling the surgery when she talked about her fears of taking anesthesia. Fans already know that the surgeries where people need to take anesthesia are not minor. They feel the American native and his mom were selfish during the discussion. One fan said, "Brandon is totally insensitive to what should be private conversations between himself and Julia." Many fans felt that Gibbs should not discuss everything in front of his parents. Others noted how he and Betty pressured Julia instead of understanding her fears. A different user added, "The overselling comment really made my blood boil." Stay tuned too. Luke of 90 Day Fiancé, the other way, was shocked to see an exclusive stripper bachelor party from his closest friends. He was on the verge of tying the knot with Colombian beauty Madeline. He was unable to shift to her country since he struggled with his debt and had no money left to arrange their dream wedding. Yet, Luke went to Colombia to meet Madeline after their long-distance relationship. She was growing impatient to have him with her. She could no longer watch him over video calls, but she wasn't ready to fully understand his issues. The 19-year-old Madeline threatened him at one point to break up with him if he failed to move to her country or marry her. What happened at his bachelor party with the stripper? Madeline wanted a grand entry at her wedding to marry Luke. She planned the day with him for a long time. But fans think she went too far in her imagination, calling her the most delusional bride ever. She argued with her fiancé not to give up her princess dreams for the sake of his financial crisis. Among all the extravagances Madeline wished for, one was her helicopter arrival at the venue. In the first episode of the show, she asked Luke to pay a hefty amount to book it. He rolled his eyes in bafflement while rehearsing his dance steps with her on a video call. Her wildness even blew fans' minds because she overreacted to his bad dance, shamelessly demanding a helicopter ride. 90 Day Fiancé, Luke says no to stripper but gives in. Luke celebrated his pre-wedding with a bachelor bash attended by some of his male friends. However, his boys got him a present, which was shocking to him. A stripper named Fiji crashed the party, turning his happy face to sad. He admitted he was clueless about it and didn't approve of their little surprise. Luke's friends said that all they wanted was for him to enjoy himself, but nobody was ready to take accountability for bringing the stripper. The TLC star looked very disappointed with them, yet decided to have fun before he walked down the aisle. The stripper changed to a half-naked outfit to sit on his lap to give him pleasure. Luke had the best time with Fiji when his friends threw cash on him. In the TLC confessional, he acknowledged digging his own hole for Madeline to yell at him. He knew that if she found out about the wild night, she wouldn't leave him without taking revenge. She might call off the wedding and even break up with him. Still, Luke looked ready to address the stripper party to Madeline. After all, this is a part of American culture before a man becomes a groom. He would do his best to make her understand, but she is a hot-headed girl who rarely listens. Whatever happens, fans will watch on Monday in the series. For the latest 90 Day Fiancé stay. David's journey on reality TV made him a household name. Fans first met him on 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days, where his search for love, particularly his unforgettable relationship with the mysterious Lana from Ukraine, became one of the most memorable and viral storylines in the show's history. His story was filled with drama, skepticism, and even moments of unexpected hope, which kept millions of viewers glued to their screens. As news of his passing spreads, fans, cast members, and entertainment outlets are reflecting not only on his time in the spotlight but also on the personal struggles he faced off camera. While David was often portrayed as quirky, determined, and somewhat naive, many viewers came to admire his persistence in pursuing love, even against all odds. In today's extended report, we'll look at David's life, his rise to fame on 90 Day Fiancé, the health issues that plagued him in his later years, and the way fans and loved ones are remembering him. But first, let's revisit who David Murphy really was, beyond the TV drama, beyond the internet memes, and beyond the moments that made him a trending figure in reality TV history. Stay with us, because we'll explore his early background, how he became a part of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, and how his story left such a lasting impact on audiences worldwide. Before David Murphy became a reality TV star, he lived a relatively quiet and private life. Born in 1959, David grew up in the United States, where he lived an ordinary lifestyle far from the glitz and drama of television. For much of his adult life, he worked in the world of computer programming and technology, holding down a stable career that allowed him to live comfortably. By the time fans met him on 90 Day Fiancé, David was already in his 60s. He lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, in a home that he proudly displayed on the show. What stood out most to viewers was how he lived, independent, financially stable, but deeply lonely. David never married, had no children, and for many years, focused on his own life and work. But, as he reached retirement age, his desire for companionship grew stronger, leading him to pursue love in a very unconventional way. For over 7 years, David had been involved in an online relationship with a Ukrainian woman named Lana. Their communication, however, was unusual. They never spoke over the phone or on video chat. Instead, David spent thousands of dollars on a paid foreign dating site where he messaged her, and only through that platform. To many people, this seemed suspicious. Friends warned him it could be a scam. Viewers, too, were skeptical, wondering if David was being taken advantage of. Despite these concerns, David remained steadfast. He believed in Lana, and he believed their connection was real. This became the central focus of his 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days storyline, which first aired in 2020. The show documented his multiple trips to Ukraine to meet Lana in person, trips where she repeatedly failed to show up. Each disappointment left David heartbroken, but not defeated. He was determined, sometimes stubbornly so, to prove everyone wrong. And then, in a twist that shocked millions of viewers, Lana did appear. Against all odds, the mysterious woman was real. Their meeting was awkward but emotional, and it validated David's unwavering belief. Even though their relationship was filled with uncertainty, that moment became one of the most unforgettable in the history of 90 Day Fiancé. Beyond the TV cameras, David's life was defined by routine and quiet hobbies. He enjoyed riding his motorized scooter, traveling when possible, and, of course, spending time chatting online. He was not the flashy type of reality star. Instead, his appeal came from being authentic, even if that authenticity sometimes made him look naive. This contrast, a man of stable means, who lived a comfortable life, yet was desperate enough for love to risk ridicule, is what made David such a fascinating figure on reality TV. He wasn't playing a role. He wasn't trying to be famous. He was simply searching for connection. As fans now mourn his passing, many are looking back at these early moments and realizing how human David's story truly was. It wasn't just about reality TV. It was about the universal search for love and belonging, even late in life. When David Murphy first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, few could have predicted the impact he would have on the show's history. His storyline was unlike any other, a 60-year-old man, deeply invested in an online relationship that many people believed was nothing more than a scam. At first, viewers were skeptical, even judgmental. Many took to social media, questioning how someone like David, intelligent and financially stable, could fall into such a trap. Memes flooded the internet. His determination to meet Lana was mocked by some, but it also fascinated millions. TLC knew they had something unique, a story that blended heartbreak, suspense, and hope. As the season aired, David quickly became one of the most talked about figures in the franchise. Fans debated endlessly. Every missed meeting, every disappointment, every excuse from Lana only deepened the suspense. The cameras followed David as he invested not just money, but his heart, into this relationship. Viewers saw him at his most vulnerable, frustrated, confused, and sometimes angry, but never willing to give up. Then came the shocking twist that cemented David's place in reality TV history. Lana showed up. Against all expectations, she was real. The moment David finally met her face-to-face in Ukraine was one of the most memorable in the entire franchise. Fans who had laughed at him suddenly found themselves moved. It was raw. It was awkward. But it was real. That moment changed everything. While their romance never developed into a long-term relationship, in fact, it fizzled not long after filming, David had already become a household name. He wasn't just another cast member, he was an icon of the show. After the season aired, David was featured in spin-offs like 90 Day Fiancé, Self-Quarantined, where fans got a glimpse into his everyday life during the pandemic. His calm demeanor, his dry sense of humor, and his openness about his choices kept people interested. He also made appearances in 90 Day, Bears All, where he reflected on his journey with Lana and the lessons he learned. What set David apart was his resilience. He knew the world was laughing at him, but he didn't seem to care. He remained unapologetic about his decisions. In interviews, he often defended himself, saying that people didn't understand how genuine his feelings for Lana were. He insisted that his story was real, no matter what others thought. This resilience struck a chord with many fans. Over time, the laughter turned into respect. David became a symbol of persistence and sincerity. He showed that even in the face of mockery, staying true to yourself mattered more than public opinion. As his fame grew, so did the conversations about him. Was David a cautionary tale about online dating? Or was he a reminder that love can come in the most unexpected forms? Either way, he left an undeniable mark on the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. Now, as news of his passing spreads, those same fans are remembering not the memes, but the man. They're reflecting on his courage, his vulnerability, and the unforgettable role he played in one of the most popular reality TV franchises of all time.